Excellent. We are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 164 of Let's Talk Koi. I'm Sean the Koi Guy, and we are at 539 Deer Park Avenue, Dix Hills, New York. We're at Koi Market, and it's a humid, I think it's 150% humidity right now. It actually just started raining at the very second that I said that. I just saw a raindrop come straight down. Yes, this is what happens when you're a fat guy. It is what it is. I walk around with a paper towel in my hand, wiping my head, and I walk around with 3 shirts in my truck at all times. But good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Very excited. Father's Day is right around the corner. We have so many things planned for Father's Day. We have some big sales coming up. We have a huge koi sale going on. We have a huge auction coming up on Wednesday. It's Wednesday the 9th. Is that the 11th? Wednesday the 11th. And it's an evening show. So I'm excited about that. We are going to do an evening show, and it's going to start at what time? 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
7 p.m. EST. We have a Big Daddy Koi auction. So Big Daddy Koi is just, we're doing a big koi auction. First time we're ever doing this, so we're very excited about it. It's happening at 7 o'clock on Wednesday the 11th. 7 o'clock EST. So again, I'm saying it's very, very ridiculously hot out. The humidity is through the roof. I really do think that it's got to be like 98% humidity right now. It's so hot. The cars pulling in, and it's going to be a busy day at the store regardless. It's interesting. We tend to actually do more business when it rains. Everyone freaks out when it rains, like, oh no, it's raining, no one's going to come in. For us, like, if it's raining, that means that someone's not spending time in their backyard. They're going to come in and buy and spend time at the store. So it's more popular here at the store when it rains, which is interesting. But I'm standing in here in front of the small pond, and the reason why I'm standing here is I wanted you guys to see just how everything is really growing in. You can see the iris. The iris are coming up. Gorgeous purple iris. I'm actually going to change this bowl out because you guys know me. I just have to touch everything all the time. So I'm going to mess around with that. But you can see all the lilies are coming up. I'm really happy with the way this pond is looking. The hyacinth, you guys saw when I put these hyacinth in a couple of weeks ago, and they're literally taking over that whole area. But all the plants are coming in really nicely. Very happy with the way it looks. The big pond is looking spectacular as well. One of the things that I did want to show you is the new patio. So this has been on my mind for the longest time. And I know it was like a small little, like, why did I bother kind of thing. But I did it because it's the entrance to the store. So we did a new patio here. We still have to bring in gravel to bring this level up. But these are the new 60-inch fountain bowls. I'm super excited about these. And we're going to do some gorgeous water features in these. And I just can't wait to do it. I'm going to do it. I am taking a couple of days off with my wife. My wife Robin and I are going out to Greenport for a few days to spend time in the most humid weather possible. So I can't wait. But I needed a couple of days rest. It's just been, let's just leave it at that. So I'm super excited to work on these. I'll probably start on these next week. If I don't tackle it, maybe I'll tackle one today. I don't know. We'll see what happens because the day may get really busy. I am going to work on the bowl in the small pond. You can see here the pondless is really growing in. It really, really looks great. All the plants are really starting to come up. The moss is nice and green. I'm very happy with the way this looks. And when we planted this a couple of weeks ago now, and you can see how everything is just starting to come into place. The creeping Jenny is always a really nice plant to keep around ponds. It's great for basically following the flow of the waterfall. So it'll follow the stones as they go down, and it's great for filling in little cracks and crevices. It's just a perfect plant to have around a water feature. And the iris are starting to come in up there. We have some thalia up at the top. We put some papyrus down here at the bottom. I forgot what this one was called, but these guys were like little tiny nothings a couple of weeks ago. So they're starting to sprout. I'm excited about that. We have aquatic plants coming in this week for Father's Day weekend. And holy cow, it's so hot. This is ridiculous.
The big koi's out.
And the big koi is out. So you can see the big koi. So this is, you guys know we had 3 of them. 2 of them were stolen from the corner. The third one we had up on the pergola. It was up on the grass on the property when the others were stolen. But a wind came in and it blew it down, and it got a little bit of damage on it. So Bonsai Chris, who's also a jack of all trades, is going to work on that. And quite honestly, I'm going to go inside now because it's so hot that I think I'd be happier as a large individual being inside. So the store is looking great. Everything is all packed, and we just did another order of food. We go through food like crazy here. We just go through pallets and pallets of food. But the store is looking great, and the best part of it is the air conditioning is on, so it's nice and cool in here. Travis and I did a really nice filter install. If you saw, I did a post on that earlier this week. We did a nice filtration install this week. We finished up on spring openings this week as well. So the guys are super happy to just take a break from that. We did 3 months of spring openings this year, and it was brutal for the guys. I can't say it was brutal for me because I wasn't there. I used to be the guy that was in the trenches, but Travis now handles all of that. The fountain area is looking very nice. Really happy with that. Today's episode, let's come on over here. We're going to set up behind the desk, and Michael is actually going to join us today. So I'm excited about that. But we have a few people on.
Yeah. Tara Ross.
Hi, Tara.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And there was another one that also said good morning. Kathy says good morning, guys.
Hi, Kathy.
So yeah, we're at 20.
So guys, I love being part of your Saturday mornings. It's important for me, like to be here for you. And as the season kind of kicks in, we start to do less of the fish because we don't have as much time to do the fish. But we still like to try and do what I call like these little educational pieces where we talk about anything to do with the pond, whether it's filtration, it's water treatments, it's koi health, it's how to build something. We always want to be providing you with information on what you guys need to know. So one question I have for you guys, and remember, if you're new to the show, like this is an interactive show. This is a show where I want you guys to be a part of it. So comment away. You could say, Sean, wow, I like your haircut, or wow, Sean, you got a little fat. Well, don't say that, because someone said that, and quite honestly, we were on YouTube, if you guys remember that. Someone said that, and it still bothers me. It was the first time we were on YouTube, and I was the first person that joined our YouTube channel, and he's like, wow, this guy's really fat. And I was like, wow, that kind of hurts. I was a little bit, I mean, I say it myself because I know it, but it's a little weird when it's coming from someone else. So, yeah. And look at how it affected me. I'm still talking about it like 2 months later. Anyway, I would love to know what kind of things you want to talk about so that we can plan them for future episodes. So ask questions, guys. Is there anything in particular you guys want to talk about? And I don't have to write it down because I have it on video, and I can just go back on the video and check. Right? We can check all the notes. So if you have...
has your back, she says that person was really rude.
Yes, they were rude. And I actually think he did apologize. I didn't think that he thought it through when he said it, nor did I think he realized, maybe he didn't realize it was live. Maybe he thought it was a recording and that I wasn't actually going to respond to him. So he did apologize. And so whatever, it is what it is. We've all been called names over the years, and obviously you can't call me late for dinner. So it is what it is. So let me know what things you guys do want to talk about. Do you want to talk about koi health? That's something that's going on right now. Today, we're actually going to talk about that. When Michael frees up a little bit, he's working with a customer right now. He's actually coming in. We're going to talk about some koi pharma stuff, and we're going to talk about parasitic and bacterial issues and what you guys should be looking for, because this is the time of the season to be looking for this stuff. Holy cow! I know it's cooler in here, but it doesn't feel cooler in here.
So we do have a question.
Yes.
From Kathy.
Question away.
I know you talked about dosing systems, but how many different things can you put in there, and what kinds of stuff?
That's a great question. That is an awesome question. And you know what? I'm actually going to grab a dosing machine, and give me a sec, and we're going to talk about it. Because I like this question. This is a great question. So I absolutely love dosing machines, and I love the idea. When I first heard about a dosing machine, that makes so much sense to have something that will automatically. And just so you guys understand, those of you who don't know what a dosing machine is, and you can get them from the site. I don't know if you can post. Do we have it posted where you can? You might be able to find it. A dosing machine enables you to add a water treatment in the dosing machine, and the dosing machine will automatically dose that product out over a period of time. And the nice thing is it's connected to the system through an app. And it actually lets you know, hey, you need to add more of this. And it'll let you know when you need to order more, which is really nice. This is the XT dosing machine. They actually have a smaller dosing machine too. This is from Aquascape. It's got some other stuff in there. So you can put in, and this is a 1 gallon. So you can do a 1 gallon size in the XT, or you can actually do 2 half gallons. It's not in there? Okay. We'll get it set up for next time. But I'm glad you asked, because I love talking about this stuff. So the way this works, this right here is your little dosing machine right here. And this gets set and it works with the app. And you can add a second one right here. So you can have one here, and it only comes with one, but you can purchase a second one. That way you can dose more than one item at a time. So you can have one here, and you can have one over here. It'll hold 1 gallon, or it'll hold 2 half gallons, or, it's only designed to hold up to 2 items. We have used the Koi Defender product in this, which works great. They have Maintain, they have Clear, they have a couple of other products that you can add to this. You can add this for a fountain and just keep that fountain clear from algae by just dosing with that product in it. It's a great product for either a pond or a pondless, or just a standard fountain. So really nice product to have next to your pond. This can all get buried into the ground, gets plugged in, and then you have an app on your Wi-Fi. You have an app on your phone, and there's an app for either Android or iPhone, and it'll let you know what the status is. That same app also connects to other things that Aquascape has, like controlling a pump. You can control the speed of your pump. If you have a thermometer in a pond, you can actually check your temperature at all times to see what's going on. So it's it's like an all-in-one app that works with a whole bunch of their products, not just this product. So pretty cool. Any other questions regarding the dosing machine?
Yeah.
Nope. It was Kathy that asked?
That was Kathy.
Kathy, let me know if I answered your question, and if you have any other questions regarding the dosing machine. Now that we're talking about new products, can you grab me that hat-looking thing right there, that black hat? So we've actually been waiting for these to come in. There's a few more coming in. This is a brand new product from Aquascape. This is their new, they have a whole new line of pots. Go ahead.
Kathy just wanted to know the cost on the dosing machine.
I will get you the.
We'll find out.
I'll get it for you. It's right up front. There's either the XT or I think it's the SL. So this is a brand new pot that they just came out with. This is made out of super, super high strength material. They actually use this for thick, very thick stone. So when you're doing underlayment, they actually have what they call a rock pad. And I think this stuff is made out of the same thing as that rock pad. And it's like, you can lift like 1,000. If you took a sheet of this and laid it down, you could lift a 1,000-pound stone with this. That's how strong this stuff is. And these are the new pots they came out with. They have a bunch of different sizes. We only have one size at the moment, more are coming in. But it comes with this nice waterproof tag on it that stays on, excuse me. And this tag actually allows you to check off hardy or tropical and what variety and when you planted it right on the tag, which is really nice. So that was very smart of those guys to put that on there. That stays on at all times. So when you're dealing with your plants, you can go back and see exactly what it is. So this one here fits approximately 432 cubic inches of potting media with a plant top with gravel and submerged solely into water. Very cool. So Aquascape, thank you for sending these out. We can't wait to use them. So the handles on here are super strong. They're designed to carry a tremendous amount of weight. And they come in huge sizes. So they have a couple more sizes of these, so you can do some really big plantings with these. The nice thing about a pot like this is, one, you can use the handles to carry it, and two, it's not in a hard plastic pot where the pot is going to sit and it'll sit sideways. Because of the way the bottom is, it will conform to whatever is down the bottom. So if you have a gravel bottom, you have a bottom that is not level, it doesn't matter with a pot like this. And you can see the strap actually goes around the whole thing. I'll get you a price for this in the next episode. Thank you. So very cool. I'm so happy that we got these in. We can start using them on jobs. The pricing on the XT, that's this one right here, is $259.99. On the SL, which is a smaller model, it's $149.99.
Kathy wants to know if we have them in stock.
We do have them in stock. So yes, Kathy, thank you very much. Normally we would be able to post it on the page. Unfortunately, it's just one of those products I didn't have up and ready to go to post on the page, but I'll have for next episode. Did you guys have any other questions about products or the dosing machine? No. So we do have a couple things coming up. I do want to remind you guys, we have our Personal Koi Shopper. If you're not familiar with Personal Koi Shopper, it allows anyone from around the country to do what we're doing here, which is, I mean, right now I'm talking to you on camera. Our Personal Koi Shopper allows us to do that exact same thing, but on a one-to-one basis. So you come in, you go to koimarket.com, you click on Personal Koi Shopper, you select a date, you select a time, you let us know exactly what you're looking for. I'm looking for a particular fish. I'd like to talk about pond construction. I want to talk about koi health. Whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to put it in the notes, and then it'll automatically send me an email letting me know that you want to have a meeting on such and such time. I will then call you, and it's either via FaceTime, by Google Meet, by Zoom, we could do it a whole bunch of different ways. We can do it through instant messenger video. We can do it through WhatsApp video. There's so many different methods for us doing a video call now that it's super easy. And we can show you everything that we have in stock. We can go through and we can talk about a dosing machine. We can talk about any kind of medications or water treatments. We can show you whatever fish we have in stock. We can show you anything that we have in stock and answer any questions that you may have. So Personal Koi Shopper, we call it Personal Koi Shopper, but it's a way for you to really purchase anything that we sell. And we're going to be doing, I'm excited about this, so we're going to be doing Personal Koi Shopper in Japan. We are planning 3 trips to Japan, and we're pretty excited about that. We have our 2-week trip, which we'll be doing a couple of live shows from a few different koi farms like we've done in the past. So, you know, you guys, if you've watched that before, we'll be doing that again. It'll be our 3rd year doing that. We have a buying trip planned for customers and then a buying trip planned for myself, so that I can go and spend a lot of money that I don't have. Yes.
Casey Anthony wants to know.
Hey, Casey.
Larger than that, she's got to replant some. I'm assuming it's big up. I could be wrong.
These.
Replant some lilies.
Yes. So they do have. We have larger ones. We haven't gotten them in yet. So I'm going to be very, very honest with you. we ordered these last year when we went to Pandemonium, and we just got them in. So the demand for these has been absolutely huge. And so I know Greg Woodstock has been doing a huge push on aquatic plants, and you're going to see a lot of that this year. So he's doing an amazing array of aquatic plants at Aqualand this year, and I can't wait to see everything that he's doing. And he's been doing a huge push, and these pots are a part of that push to really get everyone more involved in planting aquatic plants in their ponds. So I'm glad that he's doing it, because it's for us, it's become a huge part of what we do. And it's so interesting how sometimes you say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but for me, like, I am learning something new every day. And I didn't always do aquatic plants in my ponds, and it makes such a huge difference, So aquatic plants do a lot of things, guys. Not only they're not just for aesthetics, they help filter the ponds in a lot of different ways. They help remove nitrates from the pond, which is a huge part of that nitrification cycle. It is the last stage of that nitrification cycle. So plants are such an important part of having a pond. Now, of course, you have dedicated koi ponds that you may not have plants, or you can put them in an area where you're not showing them in your dedicated koi pond, like if you had a moving bed filter or something like that, you could certainly throw some floating plants in there, or you can throw plants into your waterfall filter or something like that if you want to keep them out of the way. But having them in your ponds to perform those various tasks is an important part of the process. Any other questions regarding these before we move on? Michael is just helping a customer, so when Michael finishes, we'll bring him on over here. We won't be doing fish today. If you guys are interested in doing fish or seeing fish for sale, we do have, I'm going to mention again, if you're just joining us, we do have our first koi auction coming up. We have what we're calling our Big Daddy Father's Day koi auction happening Wednesday the 11th, 7 p.m. EST. Be there or be square. We would love to have you. Looking forward to it. We're going to be auctioning off a bunch of our big koi, and you may be able to walk away with an amazing koi at a ridiculously low price. So definitely be there. We're looking forward to it. Please like us, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you never miss anything that we post. Super important. And that's the news with Gary Gnews. All right. I do have a couple of other things that I wanted to mention.
She says, "Good morning. Got my beautiful koi this week. You guys are the best."
Thank you, Katie. I'm glad you're happy. When you guys are happy, I'm happy. Please go right by, sir.
Yeah, and she says thanks for the T-shirt as well.
You're very, very welcome. I hope it's the right size. So, people, you guys are always asking, do we have koi merch? And we kind of do. Like we have shirts. I don't even know if we have prices on shirts, but I think there's a box of shirts down below. We do have koi market shirts, and we try and send them out when we can, and we don't always have everyone's size, but we do have some koi market. We don't have a lot of merch, but as things go, we'll be adding more to it. But they're $24.99. So we have shirts. They're $24.99. So these are koi market shirts. $24.99. Pretty cool. I love our logo. It's a really nice logo. Just wait. Soon you're going to see a logo. It's either going to be on this side or that side. I think it's going to be on this side, right? This side? Makes sense? So this side. So really, I'm glad we're talking about this, because so I have this really cool neon sign going right here. I'm very excited. My mother got it for me. Thanks, Mom. She got it for me for Father's Day. So I'm excited. I'm always excited about koi market stuff. I haven't gotten a koi market tattoo yet, but maybe one day.
Do you have any tattoos?
So what's funny is my entire family is covered in tattoos, except for me. My wife, my daughter, and both my sons have. They could be their own tattoo gallery. They have many tattoos. My wife just got this gorgeous tattoo. These flowers that come down her shoulder, they kind of start here and go down to here. Absolutely amazing. I haven't been able to take the plunge. You know, it's I don't know. How does that look? Okay. That looks all right. Like a koi on my arm. It looks good. Yeah. I don't know what I would get. So how many of you have tattoos? And if you have a tattoo, is it a koi tattoo? How many of you have koi tattoos? I'm just curious. I've debated getting a tattoo for many years. How do we get into this conversation about tattoos? I don't remember.
You brought it up with the new logo.
Oh, that's right. I brought it up. I brought it up myself. I brought up my own conversation and didn't remember how it came up. Does anyone else have a koi tattoo? I wish we had a way to actually see everyone's.
Katie says she does have it.
You do? Very cool. So you'll have to send us some pictures. Is there a way for that people can? There isn't,
I
right?
wish there was. We'll look into that.
That could be dangerous too. That could be very dangerous. People sending in stuff that we don't want them to be sending in that would just pop up on screen. But what I was
says she has many tattoos to go for.
okay. So I have my neon sign going here, and on this side over here, we are going to do a featured art gallery. We keep getting customers reaching out to us saying, "Hey, I do koi art. Like, do you have I would love to sell my koi art in your store." So we kind of have this area here that we thought we would do as, like, for a month, we would put a particular customer's art on the wall in this area here, so that you guys can see it. We could feature it on the show, and it would be kind of cool. So I have at least one, two. I think we have 4 artists that are interested in displaying their art here. We have our friend Kevin, who's an amazing photographer. We have a gentleman named Fred Woodward, who's another customer of ours, who also is an amazing photographer. He's got koi art that he wants to put up here. Hillary does some amazing paintings. I'm trying to remember who the 4th person was. It was, I do remember, it's my father-in-law, Bob. And he does, you can see all the pictures. See those pictures there? Maybe you can walk over to one of them. So my father-in-law has been drawing these. Pretty cool. He's getting really good at it. I don't know if anyone has any comments there. Bob, I'm not sure if you're watching, but so we have 4 artists that we wanted to feature on there, and we're pretty excited to do that. That should be happening soon. I think that Fred Woodward might be the first person that we display on there. I think that Bonnie was talking with him this week, and we're going to start getting some art in of his, and we're going to place it on the wall there. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
We do have a comment from Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
He says, I have the dosing system with clean and maintained. It seems to not help in keeping sting algae, but I think it might be string algae, from inside the pond around lily pads.
So string algae is a tough one. So string algae is generally from an excess of organics, and you'll find that in static, non-moving areas of water is where that string algae will really start to collect and grow. Putting in beneficial bacteria on a weekly basis definitely helps. Sometimes you have to do something a little bit more extreme. Yeah, we are trying out some other products as well. I do find that Maintain does work. I mean, you may just have a massive amount of organics in the pond. Did you clean the pond out this year? Maybe that could be it. Sometimes it's just you may just have an excessive amount of sun if the pond is in full sun. You're battling against the elements here. There's always something that you're fighting against. Sometimes you just get a strain of string algae that's just really tough to deal with. We've definitely run into that in the past and had to deal with it in various ways. Any other comments?
Yeah, he says that it really amasses around his aerator and around the lily pads.
Yeah, we actually had a customer talk about this the other day where the string algae was just around the aerator. which is really interesting. I'd really have to bring in someone that's like a super high-end expert on algae to talk about that, and I'd love to do that. How are you? Good to see you.
Jerry says he did include the pond fulls.
So just doing a massive water change, we get this a lot with customers, where we ask them, all right, like, tell me a little bit about the pond, did you do a clean out? And they'll say, well, I did a big water change. Well, doing a big water change is not removing all the sludge, all the organics that are sitting at the bottom of the pond. It is really important to do that periodically. We recommend doing it once a year. Sometimes customers will stretch that out and do it every couple of years. It all accumulates, and it's like a I'm trying to think of the way to put it. That it accumulates, and it basically, you'll start out with the water quality getting bad, then you'll have fish that are getting sick, and then the string algae will end up taking over the pond. And these are all examples of just water quality issues. You may potentially be feeding too much too, and that's actually something to think about. It just started getting warm here, guys, and we've run into this with a couple of customers where because it's the time of year, it's now summertime, you start feeding a lot more, and the pond isn't actually ready to handle the amount of food and waste that's being created, so it can cause a big problem. Obviously, we always check our water parameters, but some customers don't, and they're perfectly fine with not testing them. They've never tested, and they've just kind of done their thing. This year in particular, it was cool for a much longer period of time, which means that your beneficial bacteria, Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter bacteria that remove the ammonium nitrate, as well as your sludge-eating bacteria, are not working as well as they could be to break down that waste, which means that you could be creating a more toxic scenario than you have in the past, just because of the long-term cool water that we've had. I mean, we're just getting ready to do our tropical lilies now, and I actually have to go and put a thermometer in the water outside because someone keeps stealing my thermometer and using it for something else. I think if I put the Aquascape digital thermometer in there, then it'll stay there. It's just the water temperature just getting warm enough to put the tropical lilies in. The tropical lilies really need to be in 70-degree water. We have those lilies coming in this week, and we'll have to hit the ground running to get them all potted up for Father's Day, but we're very excited to have them. The difference between, so we get this a lot, like, what's the difference between a hardy and a tropical? So hardies will come back every year. Tropicals will not. You could potentially put them inside and save them. Hardy lilies will not, number one, don't have as many colors. Purples are, it's not that there aren't purples, there actually are, but they're harder to get, and they're pretty expensive for a hardy. Reds are also another color you don't get a lot of with the hardies. But with hardies, you don't get nearly as many flowers as you do with the tropicals. The tropicals will literally bloom over and over, and you'll get 4, 5, 6 flowers at a time. With the hardy lilies, you tend to get like maybe 1 or 2 at a time. They don't generally, and I'm not saying that there aren't strains of hardy plants that don't do this, but the ones that you generally see that are for sale are not. They're fairly standard. So you get 1 or 2 flowers on them. You're going to get, and they're going to be fairly sparse as far as how quickly those flowers bloom compared to the tropicals, which will literally bloom over and over and over. You just have to make sure you get them fertilized. But it's generally when we're working on a customer's pond and we're doing an aquatic plant planting, I like to mix it up. So I'll do a couple of hardies and I'll do a couple of tropicals. That way they have some plants that will come back, and then the tropicals are the ones that really look amazing. They have gorgeous flowers. You also have night bloomers, so you can have just these flowers that come out at night. And it's based on temperature, so the plant can actually tell when it's cooling down, and then it'll actually open up. It's not based on, it doesn't know the lights, like it's like day or night. It's based on temperature. But anyway,
Jerry says thank you for all your answers.
Of course. Any other questions? Michael is just finishing up with a customer, and he's going to come over here. I may switch positions and let him take over so I can go and help a customer, just because we have so many people standing here. So give us a moment in regards to that. Is there anything else you guys wanted to go over? Any questions? Like, what stage is your pond in right now? You guys are all set up. I'm assuming everyone's ponds are open at this point. I will say that we do still have a bunch of fish that need to be shipped. So if we have fish that we're holding for you, please reach out to us. Send me a text, 516-547-0164, so we can get those fish shipped out to you. We do definitely still have some fish that need to go out, so please let me know. Yeah, at this time of the year, we don't really board fish anymore because your ponds are now open. So we've basically been waiting for everyone's ponds to open. We sold a record amount of fish from Japan this year. So thank you very much to everyone for being a part of that. We love doing it. It's become, I think, the highlight of the year for us has been our Japan trips and what we get to see out there and what we get to show you while we're there. It's been a really fun time. We do have this video that we created that we want to post soon. Where are we posting that?
I believe it's going to go up to YouTube.
It's going to go up to YouTube. So we have a Japan video that was done quite a while ago that we will be posting on YouTube, and we'll do that soon. I'll keep you guys posted when we're going to do that.
We also might air it live for the first thing. Do it like a special live stream of it.
Right. And are we going to do a pre-show for the? So we have a pre-show starting at 6 o'clock. We haven't discussed what's going to be in this pre-show yet, so yeah, some ideas. So this is something that we have to go over. But we have a pre-show that'll start at 6 o'clock on the 11th. So it's 6 p.m. EST. That's Eastern Standard Time. Kind of a pre-game. We'll have some margaritas. I think we should have some drinks. It's kind of like margarita weather. Like it's definitely that time. Hey, Michael, you want to switch? Okay. Who's that?
Mike Z.
Okay. All right, Mike Z. I will call you back. So if you guys are looking for some merch, I have to say, we've had a hell of a time with web developers, and we launched the new sites. And I'm not going to name names. I will be a good person. I'm not going to name names, but spent a ridiculous amount of money redoing the website, and the developer just did not so great job. So we're actually in the middle of redoing the new website with another developer because what this guy did was unfixable. And although the website looks nice, it has a tremendous amount of issues that have to be dealt with. So a lot of the product that we have in the store, other than Koi, you can see Koi Pharma stuff is in the Koi Pharmacy, and then Koi for Sale is in the Koi for Sale area. But none of our other product is actually up there that we have for sale in the store, which is really annoying. You can actually do a search for it and it'll come up, but there's no way for you to actually get to it. So thank you to our previous web developer for doing what you did. You cost me a lot of money. I don't know what to say about that. Everyone touts that they're the best thing since sliced bread, and then you check references, you check their background, you check the work they've done before, and they still, it's just, I don't know what to say except that just another disappointing web developer. But we're in the process of redoing everything right now, so that'll get launched soon, and we'll keep you posted on that. And you will be able to go on the website and purchase merch and purchase all the things that we're talking about here.
Scott recommends that if we're not doing it to do it, am I missing it? Never seen a calendar on the website or on Facebook.
So we will have an events calendar on the website. It's actually since Bonnie started, it's something that she's been pushing to have on the website. We do things all the time here at the store, and we have a lot of things planned. We actually have a customer appreciation event happening soon, and we'll be talking about that as soon as we have a little bit more of that in the plan. We're looking forward to doing that. But we will have an events calendar on the main page, on our homepage, so that you can see what's happening at Koi Market and plan around that. But we would love to have you guys here. And I just want everyone to know, like, we're open 7 days a week. We're open from 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 on Saturdays, 10 to 5 on Sundays. And you guys don't need an appointment to come here. If you want to reach out to me and let me know, like, hey, if you're traveling a long way, I definitely want to be here for you. So let me know that you're coming, and I'll try and make sure that I'm here to greet you and give you a tour. And everyone's welcome to come here. So please, take the trip. We have a lot of customers that travel from all over the country to come here and buy koi, and we're honored to have them. And the same for you guys. So you're definitely welcome to come here. We'd love to have you. Is anyone planning to come and make a trip out to Koi Market? Let us know. And again, if you have any questions, this is the place to do it. This is the forum for it. Anything to do with pond construction, pond health, fish health, I'm here to answer your questions the best that I can. I mean, I can't answer every question, but I'm here to help you any way that I can. So please ask away. I want to have Michael come, and he's just bringing someone up right now, and then he's going to come and do a little piece on bacterial and parasitic treatments, because it's a time of year to do it. And I like when Michael does it. I mean, I can do it myself as well, but Michael is our koi fish health expert, so I like to have him do it when he can.
AJ writes, first time at the store last week. Highly recommend visiting. Beautiful store, great products, and a diverse selection of fish.
So his question is?
Nothing. He just said he was here, AJ.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Okay. Yeah. Well, AJ, thank you for coming. We appreciate you taking the trip here. I thought it sounded like he was saying a question. Thank you for taking the trip. It was a pleasure having you. And again, you guys are definitely welcome to come here. We keep margaritas in the refrigerator, so whenever anyone wants to come and have a drink, we're always down for a margarita, and we're always down to give a tour. And you can reach out to me anytime if you have any questions. My cell number is 516-547-0164. Michael is almost here. Looks like he's on a mission, so he's not coming this way. I think he's not coming this way. He's going into the greenhouse. So, yes, we're still waiting on him. So anyone else have any questions? So the 60-inch bowls we have outside, I will be working on those, I think, this coming week. So I'm off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. As I say, my wife and I are going to take a trip to Greenport. If you haven't been out to Greenport, it's time out. You want to take the one off the shelf? The pumps are there all the way, aren't they over there in the corner? I would do the 180, but you can check the one that's on the one outside. Just pull it up and see what it is. It might be a 90. Sorry. We have a lot of fountains here. We have this very cute dog fountain, that showed the dog peeing, which is it turns out to be a very popular fountain. I didn't think it would be. Everyone said, oh, no one's going to, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to get that one, but everyone likes that one. It's a very popular one. What else do we have to go? Like, I feel like I'm on a news broadcast right now. I have all my notes in front of me. Usually you can't see the notes where they are, but I'm not as much of an expert. I don't have a teleprompter in front of me telling me everything. But we do have our Father's Day sale coming up, so please stop in. Gift certificates are available for those of you looking to get a gift certificate for Dad. We have gift certificates available, and they will come with a free personal koi shopper with me. So please come on in, or you can go on the website and get your gift certificate. for Dad.
JC asks, how's the growouts coming along?
Growouts are coming along really good. They are coming along really good. I can show them to you. You want to go take a walk? Yeah, we'll take a walk. Because Michael is still working with everyone. So let's we can take a walk and see. You can see in general, fish are looking great. We have plenty of towsai available. Towsai on this side, nisai on this side. Then we have our whole koi house next door as well. On this side. We're actually just clearing out this area so we can do some work out here. So that's next. These are, you can see there's a few stragglers left here, but these are the Issa Showa growouts that we're doing with the Koi Club. They are definitely shy, so they hang out in the back there, or they hang out in the middle, but they got huge. They're getting fed 6 times a day on Saki I Carry Balance. We are going to be separating the fish, I'm hoping next week. So here are the growouts. The Budos are looking amazing. We are going to be doing a special Budo Goromo auction coming up, I think, in July. That's the plan. The Budo Goromo are going to continue growing out. We're going to be moving them over to this tank just because the fish are getting really big. But have a look. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully the video is coming out okay and there's a good signal. But I'll throw some food in. So it's really interesting. You get to see the fish that are more aggressive or just have the body shape to become much bigger versus either a fish that's just not as aggressive. And you can see some fish that are literally almost the same size as they were when we put them in. But these guys get fed 6 times a day. That may actually go up. I mean, the system is handling everything we can throw at it. I have a 10.3 V filter, Baki showers, and the system has no problem handling. We have, I think, about 200. I think we have about 350 to 400 fish in here, and the system is handling it like a champ. Really, we had no issues whatsoever handling everything we've thrown at it so far. And you can see the water quality remains, amazing, feeding 6 times a day. But you can definitely see the fish that are just not going to get that big versus the fish that have really taken off. Now, all the fish in here are the same age. You can see some Budos in here that are absolutely huge compared to some of the other Budos. The Aoki are growing at a slower pace, and the Takatatsu Ginrin Kumen Ryu, which you can see, some of them have gotten absolutely huge. You can see some of them in here. There's a few here that are, you kind of have to just take the camera and keep it looking at the fish there, and you'll see. I'm so excited about the Takatatsu in here. You can see them with the Ginrin scale going down the spine. You can see a couple of really nice sized ones. I mean, they were only like 5 inches, 6 inches when we put them in. So they're bordering on 11 inches plus, some of them. So I'm pretty excited about, I mean, there's one right there in the middle. He just went into the back there, but what do you guys think? Any comments? I'll throw a little more food in. Just keep it on the fish. So what we're growing out in here, we're growing out Marussian Budogoromo. We have some really high-end Tosai from Aoki in here. I have some fish from Shinoda in here as well. So we have some Deutsch Showa from Marussian in here. And then we have the Takatatsu, and what I have in here are the Ginrin Kumin Ryu. So it's a Kumin Ryu, which is with a silver shiny Ginrin scale down the spine. These guys will literally eat everything that we throw at it. And the system handles everything. So it's just very impressed with the setup. I couldn't be happier. I definitely have my favorites, but so what is your favorite in here? Some Tancho Budogoromo in here. There's some absolutely amazing Budos in here, so I can't wait to do the Budo auction.
Good question.
All right, what's it? Let me see your comments. I wish I saw the one you were pointing at. They look great. Let me. You know, if I throw one piece of food in here, they just go nuts. So yeah, just keep it here, and then we'll. So you can see the darker. So the darker fish are actually they're a Kumin Ryu, and it's got a Ginrin scale down the spine. They're moving very quickly, so it's a little bit hard to see. I wonder if you keep that on there. I'm going to get an umbrella to get rid of the reflection. So one of the things that, is very difficult when you're dealing with koi is taking photographs and video of koi. And the main reason for that is reflections. So I don't know if that's going to change anything there. Let me see. Just watching. You might be able to see a little bit better there. So I remove some of the reflections so you can see the fish. I'm trying not to poke someone's eye out while doing this.
I wear glasses. I'm okay.
Here, see if you can hold it. I'll grab some more food. So, as I was saying, we're using Sake Ikari. We're using the Balance, which is definitely not a cheap food. The reason why I'm using this food is it's a highly, highly absorbable food. So, unlike a lot of the lower grade foods, when the fish eat those foods, it basically goes right through them. With this food, with the Sake Ikari, it's very absorbable into the body. So the fish are eating, and a good portion of that is going into the fish rather than passing through the fish. They're a little bit scared of the umbrella, but that won't last long. So I might have to close my eyes when they start going crazy.
Michael says he's ready.
Okay. So what's your favorite fish in here, guys? Let me know.
AJ asked, why not use Saki Hikari growth?
Well, we're using the balance, which is just the balance of everything. We've done the growth. The balance, I actually think the balance might have a little bit more protein. I have to check. I can't be certain on that. But I think the balance is the top of the line of the whole Saki Hikari line.
And Casey asks, are those Tanto Budos really cool?
Yeah, those are Tancho Budos. Yeah, those are Tancho Budo Goromos, yes. So we will be doing those fish in the auction. Auction date to be announced. But thanks for asking. I'm glad you're able to see the progress with these guys. But like I said, there are some fish in here that are literally the same size. They're just not destined to be big fish. They don't have the right body type, and they're just not aggressive enough eaters. And there's a lot of fish in here, so it makes it harder for those fish to grow out. And it is true. I mean, it does make it more difficult when you have a lot of fish in there. The opportunity goes away for a lot of those fish that aren't aggressive. We are taking all the Budo Goromo out. I'm hoping to do it next week, and they're going into the other tank just to give the Budos a chance to grow out some more.
Joey wrote, the umbrella worked very well. The Budos are currently her favorite.
Awesome. Yeah, the Budos were, when I was at Marushin in Japan and saw them, I was like, I want this one. He's like, you got to buy them all. So I was happy to buy them all because they were all amazing. All right. We're going to head on over to Michael now. And let's hear what Michael has to say. He's going to go flip his microphone on. Okay.
Great. They'll get big and they'll eat all the algae. Okay. I think you had them in like a big thing over here.
We moved all that out. We had sturgeon.
Oh, okay. That's what they are. Okay.
We had sturgeon. We decided not to do them this year, but we may do high fin sharks again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were those in the bottom, like were those kind of
High fins, yeah, they'll definitely. Sorry, if you want to add, Michael, he was asking you.
Okay. So that like algae kind of growing on the rocks.
There is an actual formula for it though. Like you need X amount of this fish to, per size of the pond.
Okay.
If you really wanted it to make a noticeable difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 1,200 gallon pond.
I don't know what the formula is though.
Oh, you don't know.
I don't know, but I know there is a formula for it.
So you guys may get them.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I'll actually, I'll send the guy a text today to find out what the status is. They're supposed to be here like a month ago.
Oh,
So,
okay. And they will survive the winter?
yes,
Yeah.
they will. So, guys,
Any other questions? Okay. Sorry.
did you turn your microphone on? Okay. All right, so we'll turn it on now. So, what I'd like to do now is I'd like to hand this off to Michael. If you guys don't know Michael, if you're new to the show, let us know if you're new to the show. Just raise your hand and say, hey, let us know how you found out about us. Please don't forget to like us and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you're aware of things when we post them. And I wanted to do a nice little piece on water treatments, and Michael is going to talk to you about the Koi Pharma line and some things that you should have in your medicine cabinet. Talk to you a little bit about some of the things that you're going to start to see going on, which are just kind of par for course when having a pond, and what you need to do to tackle those. Do you want me to get the Climax or Ultimate? I think it's okay. All right. There you go. Here's Michael.
Morning, guys. So this time of the season is when lots of people now nationwide will start seeing various issues. Um, just for starters, all koi or fish in general will have a mixture of parasitic and pathogenic bacteria organisms on them. It's just a matter of how well they take care of themselves, and it's all based on their immune system. So koi and goldfish alike in pond situations, and specific will have a mixture of both pathogenic and non-pathogenic bacteria, as well as parasites in the pond and on their body. Their immune system will usually take care of it and make sure that everything is all the way it's supposed to be, being healthy. It's just like us. Whether you know it or not, your skin has a bunch of different organisms on it, bacteria, mites, and all the rest. It's just stuff that you can't see, but as a healthy person, you won't have any issues and they won't harm you in any way. But it comes to the point where the fish's immune system is compromised, and you will have issues that arise that you'll need to tackle in the correct method. The best way of doing it, and not everybody has the capability of doing it, is scraping and scoping the fish. That's taking the fish out, anesthetizing the fish, taking microscopic slides, putting a sample on the slide, and looking at the slime coat under a microscope. You're then going to be trying to look for the organisms that may be on there. You have flukes, Costia, Trichonella. You have a bunch of different stuff. Trichondia and Continella. I'm trying to put two words together. You'll be able to see multiple of those things, those organisms on a slide. But not everybody has the capability or the ability to do that. It takes skill in reading a slide and moving it around and knowing what you're looking for. It's not an easy thing to do. And then you have to really rely on symptoms that may happen for your fish. And there's a way to prophylactically prevent things from happening. And then there's ways of just treating the fish when you see an issue. We're going to first start off with prophylactic use. It's just easier to do it that way. When you prophylactically treat is, I guess, the word that should be used, the pond, then you're setting a path of your best success. And when you're prophylactically treating something, you're using medications that don't have the ability of creating resistance. So Koi Defender, for starters, it comes in both a 32 ounce and a gallon size bottle. Koi Defender is a specialized bacteria. It's not your beneficial bacteria where it, decreases sludge, goes after, debris in the water column and all that stuff. This bacteria is only geared towards reducing the nutrients and food source for the pathogenic bacteria that allows them to grow and proliferate. So by starving them out of your pond's ecosystem, then you'll be able to keep your pond and your fish healthier, reducing the redness, rot, ulcerations, and other stuff from happening to your fish if you're using this on a weekly basis right when you start up the pond. You'll use this all season long from 50 degrees to 50 degrees water temperature. And you'll adjust the dosage that you put in based on your water temperature. But as long as you're doing this on a weekly basis, you're seriously mitigating the risk of having bacterial issues in the pond. And if you do have issues that come about, then it's something serious, and then you'll go about treating it, and we'll get to that a little later in the segment. But Koi Defender is something that you'll do prophylactically year-round. In the wintertime, or once you're getting over the winter course, coming into the springtime, and right before the fall. So we generally like to do it twice in a year for prophylactic reasons. You'll do your broad spectrum, which is a parasitic and fungal treatment, and your Prazi, your pure Prazi. You'll do both of these guys prophylactically in the springtime and in the fall prior to closing down the pond. what this is doing is you're taking care of your opportunistic parasites that are in the pond. And parasites come about many different types of ways. But like I said in the beginning, they're already there, they're already present. But it gets augmented by different predators in the pond. It could be, and it's not necessarily a predator as in a predator that will eat the fish, but just regular wildlife that comes into the pond. You have different types of birds or raccoons and other rodents that may go into the pond, take a swig of water, bathe themselves in it. They're all carrying different stuff on them. So water birds, ducks, your infamous herons and osprey and egrets and stuff like that. Regardless if they take a fish and eat one, they do bring about disease. So doing your Prazi and your pure broad spectrum together as a prophylactic treatment will reduce the risk on the startup of the pond where the fish's immune system is not up to par.
We have a question.
Go for it.
From Jimmy wants to know, how do you dose the Koi Defender?
All right, so we'll take a step back and we'll go to the Koi Defender. So there's two dosage rates on here. You have your initial dosage. So if you haven't used this product before, or it's the first time you're using it and you're going to get into the routine, you're going to go about doing your initial dosage. This is really just to get the bacterial count, the good bacterial count of Koi Defender to the right population, the right number in your pond and in your filters. So the initial dosage is about 20 milliliters, or about 4 teaspoons, which is basically 1 tablespoon and a teaspoon per 1,000 gallons of water. And you do this for 3 consecutive times, 3 days apart. So you do it once, 3 days later, do it again, 3 days later, do it again. And then you'll start changing to a weekly routine, which is where you'll start doing it. But for the first 2 weeks, you'll continue doing this higher dosage. And then after those 2 weeks are done, then you can do your maintenance dosage where you cut it back in half, where it's 10 milliliters or 2 teaspoons per 1,000 gallons. So 2 teaspoons, that's all you're using where my thumb is, for 1,000 gallons of water. So it's a very, very, very concentrated, potent, specialized bacteria in a bottle. Depending on the temperature of your water will also determine how much of it you're going to put in. So if you're in your regular range, 70 degrees plus, that's the dosage you're using. If you're at 50 degrees, where in the beginning of the season when you're starting it, then you're going to double the dose. You're just doubling what's on the label. And that's just helping to making sure that there's enough bacterial count to keep the population going. So that's a great question. And it's all clearly listed on the bottle. So when you do pick one up, it's very clearly listed how you should go about dosing it. But if you do have any questions, you can always feel free to call us and we'll walk you through everything. One key note is you'll just turn off your UV for the initial dosage. That way, your UV is not killing off the bacteria. You're giving it the amount of time that it needs to start populating in your filters.
Jim says thank you.
You're welcome. So going back to this conversation, your broad spectrum, which comes in 3 different sizes, the other size is a 2.5 gallon for your big ponds, is a 3-day consecutive treatment. So you're going to put it in each day for 3 days consecutively, and you're dosing your pond with this so that you're covering all your bases for parasites and fungal infections. Your Prazi can be used together with this. It actually works better together, and you can dissolve your Koi Pharma Pure Prazi with Koi Pharma Pure Broad Spectrum so that it's much easier to introduce into the pond. Any of you guys have ever used this, it's a pain in the butt to get this dissolved if you're not using the right chemicals. So we just made it easy, and you can just use both of them together, and it eliminates you having to stress about getting this into your water. You have a question? Depending on how you do it, if you're just doing a prophylactic treatment, you're going to do 1 treatment of this and 1 treatment of Pure Prazi at the same time. So you would dose the amount of grams that you need in your pond for Pure Prazi, which is about 10 grams per 1,000 gallons of water. And you'll use the same amount of Pure Broad Spectrum, which is 100 milliliters or 3.5 ounces of Pure Broad Spectrum. You'll mix them together, and that's your initial dose. The next 2 days, you'll do your broad spectrum, and then on the 8th day you can do a water change, and you've prophylactically treated your pond for parasites and fungal infections. And you can also do this in conjunction with the Koi Defender so that you're hitting all your bases all at once, getting the pond started the right way. Makes it very easy. You do it in the springtime and in the fall prior to closing your pond down, and then you're covering your bases. Something else that you should be doing prophylactically all year round, regardless if it's wintertime or not, is adjusting your alkalinity. So we have a product here called Pure KH Stabilizer. Make sure I have the right bucket. Pure KH Stabilizer. You do it all year round. So if you're taking care of your pond, maintaining your pond in the right way, or at least the way that we tend to recommend to all our customers, either on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, where you're cleaning your filters and doing a water change. Every time you're doing a water change, you should be adding KH Stabilizer into your pond, because effectively when you're adding fresh water into your pond, you're decreasing the alkalinity, because the water that's coming out of your tap more than likely doesn't have the right alkalinity base for it. So you'll have to buffer it, stabilize it with Pure KH Stabilizer. Another reason you should be using this is it actually buffers your pH, which is the whole big reason of having this, besides other effective reasons. If you have a heavy rainstorm, depending on wherever you are in the country, rain each year is getting more and more acidic. So it is effectively bringing your pH down, and it can make it swing. And the swing is hard for people to understand, because they'll go outside, they'll see fish die for no reason after a rainstorm. They test their water, and their water is sometimes fine. It's at your regular pH that you've always tested it at. The swing happens when you're not checking it, because you're inside protecting yourself from the rain, and it goes down. It's too hard of a swing, and it kills the fish. Having your KH at the right level buffers your pH at a max of an 8.4, perfectly safe for the koi and goldfish, and it will prevent you from having that swing. It really defends your pH and keeps your alkalinity the way it's supposed to be, and then it reduces the fatality in the pond during rainstorms.
Scott writes, thank you. He was tired of using his alcohol to write it down.
So that is another way of doing the Praze.
Question from AJ. I've seen many different dosing schedules for Praze based off PF fluke life cycles. Do you recommend a second dose to take care of any eggs that hatch?
So that's a great question. And if you're dealing with a fluke issue, then yes, you're going to be doing a 2-week, 2-dose treatment. Prophylactically, you really only need one. But if you're treating for flukes, then yes, you're going to have to do 2 treatments. You're going to have to do 1-week treatment, and that's going to take care of the adults and any sort of smaller, like pre-adults. And then the second week will handle the eggs and small larvae. So you do want to do the 2 weeks, because if you only do the 1, you'll see some relief, and then you'll get it again within the next 2 weeks or so. So if you're dealing with the issue, definitely do it 2 weeks. You can use the broad spectrum again the second week, even if it's just the 1 dosage, just to dissolve it, perfectly fine. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. Going back to this, if you have as well your KH buffered the way it's supposed to be, it will actually serve as a catalyst for your beneficial bacteria. So it actually makes your bacteria work that much harder, because it's in the environment that it likes to be in, that makes it very optimal, makes it work harder. So doing this year round, regardless of the temperature, snowfall, rain, runoff, what have you, any sort of introduction of water can bring your KH down, effectively making it possible for a pH swing. So you do want to use this all year round. Something to have all the time, regardless of the season. And it comes in 3 different sizes. You get a 4, a 10, and a 20-pound container. So now, coming back to bacterial issues, very, very nasty issue to deal with, and people freak out about it, and with good reason. But it does take time, especially if you catch it late. So you have to, 1, understand what a bacterial issue is, what to look for, and if how far it is in that cycle. So bacterial issues can range anywhere from just redness, lifted scales, necrotic scales, which is scales being frayed and all that stuff, looks like it's eaten, fin rot, tail rot, mouth rot, uh, just the real nasty stuff. That's the stuff that you really start seeing the fish start breaking down, and it can just be certain isolated portions of the fish, like an ulcer will be a rounded area on the fish where the scales are being lifted, they're falling off, or they're becoming very red and puffy. Then you start seeing the muscle. That's when it's getting more and more severe. The more severe a bacterial issue is, the longer it will take, and it's much longer than anybody really realizes it. If it's a very severe issue, it can be months that a fish will be dealing with the regrowth process after the issue is solved. So if you're catching it early, which I prefer everybody to, when you're outside feeding your fish, take a look at all your fish. Make sure that they're all acting normally. They all look the same. There's no weird thing going on. And if you do notice it, keep an eye, keep a mental note, and watch it progress. If it gets worse, then you have to start doing something. If it's just, a one-off thing that they're doing, about it, it's not continuing, then don't worry about it. There are weird occasions where fish are just weird. It's just like people. We all have our days. The easiest way to combat bacterial issues would be, if they're eating, do the bacterial control koi food. It is the easiest way. The fish are eating. If they're still acting normal, they just have that ulceration or that rot or that fraying of the fins or redness, go about doing the food. It's the easiest way. It doesn't stress them out. You do it for 2 weeks, twice a day, and pretty much within the first week, you'll start seeing improvement. The one thing that I tell all my customers for bacterial issues, because it's very hard to really explain to them how it's going to happen, is if it's not getting worse, then it's getting better. Because there is a lull period in that healing cycle where nothing is really happening. It's not getting worse. It's not getting better, but it's just kind of stagnated. It plateaued right there. That's fine. Then you're in that transformation period of, it's either going to go above and start getting better or go below. And that's where you want to really be diligent in taking notes and watching your fish. But if the fish starts scabbing over, which is usually a white skin, then you're on the up and up, and you just continue doing what you're doing. Do this for the 2 weeks. Keep the pond extra clean. Speaking about clean, another way to keep it clean and or treat the pond during bacterial issues is also using pure nitro. It's a whole pond bacterial medication. You actually can do both of these at the same time. It actually keeps the pond water clean, less microbial population, so all the pathogenic bacteria does get eaten away and cleaned up by this while you're still feeding the food, and it's continually keeping the fish clean. And with any sort of bacterial medication in the water, it will knock your filter back a little bit, and it all depends on how much you're using and what kind of medication you're using. This doesn't really knock it back terribly. You may have a bit of a spike a week or so after using the medication. It's just something that you should use. It's par for course anytime you're doing a bacterial medication, because bacterial medications are usually non-biased. So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with that. And if you are using pure nitro and using Koi Defender, you want to be doubling the dose when you're effectively treating the pond.
We have 2 questions for you. Where do you keep your KH in the outside ponds? That is from Scott.
So Scott, your question about KH in the outside ponds, you want to keep it at a 7 drop or 125 ppm. So if you're using the KH stabilizer product, let's just say your pond is 1,000 gallons and it's at 3 drops. You want to add 4 more drops into it. At 1,000 gallons, you'd be adding 2 cups of KH stabilizer into the pond, and it'll raise it up to that 7 drop area. And you want to just keep it effectively between that 7 drop. If it's a little higher, don't stress. It's not an issue at all. Just keep it the way it is. Maybe don't add pH stabilizer the next time you do a water change. Test it right after the water change is done. If you need to add, great. If not, then leave it where it is.
Next question is from AJ. Do you recommend feeding bacterial food prophylactically?
No. So AJ, your question about using the bacterial food prophylactically, no. Bacterial issues is a much, it's a prickly subject. And really it's all because of resistance, bacterial resistance. So don't be treating, medication-wise for bacteria just because. That's why stuff like this exists, a prophylactic treatment where it's not going to negatively affect bacterial, antibacterial growth.
Next question is coming in from Kathy. Can you explain what Pure Nitro is?
Sure. So, Kathy, Pure Nitro is a nitrofurazone product. It is a antimicrobial, antiseptic, and antibacterial medication. You use it when you need it. Same thing with the bacterial control koi food. So it's a whole pond treatment. It lasts for about 5 to 7 days for the first treatment. If you needed to do a second treatment, you're more than welcome to, just as long as you do a water change of about 25 to 30%. One thing to note is it does color your water about like a yellow-green color. Even after a water change, that color may still persist. You'll want to then just pick up a bag or a bucket of pure activated carbon from Koi Pharma, put it in your skimmer or your waterfall box, and that color will go away within a week or two. It also neutralizes any sort of medication that may still be in the water. So anytime you do medications, you want to remove carbon if you have it in your system already. But this is another antibacterial medication. I tend to do both of them at the same time if the issue is serious.
That's it for the questions.
Okay, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them below so that way we can continue a conversation if there is anything that I may have missed.
Estelle does write that she added her Pure Nitro last night. Thank you, Michael. And she also did bacterial food.
Awesome. Thank you, Estelle. I appreciate that. Always happy to help, whether it's in person or virtually. We're always happy to help here. So treating wise and prophylactic treatments, I think I've covered majority of our bases. There are some new products coming out. Not going to say too much about it, but there are new products coming out that will help people in different ways as well with their fish when it comes to issues down the road. So yeah. If you have any questions, I'll stay over here and look pretty for a little bit.
Well, we remind me.
Sure. So something Sean's doing that's new, well, not new, but new to us, is a virtual auction. So like we do on Saturdays, we're going to do one on Wednesday night. And this is really geared towards your larger fish. And you can get these larger fish at a much better price point than you would normally. It's just that time of the season where it's almost July. It's almost Christmas in July. We're just doing it in June. So this Wednesday at 7 o'clock EST, we'll be having a live virtual auction on bigger fish. It's called the Big Daddy Sale because that's Sean's nickname, but it's also because we're doing larger fish. This is and Father's Day, so it all works out. It's all there in the advertising. So we're doing 20 large fish that we have pre-selected, ready for the show. It's all virtual, so it's very easy. There's no handling of fish, so the idea is that the live stream will be more concise this way because it is larger fish. We're not trying to find a small little fish in a tub of 1,000. It's a bigger fish in a tub of like 10 or 20. These fish have already been put aside. They are ready for sale for that live stream coming up this week. I hope you guys tune in. Whether you buy or not, it's always a good time to have people on. It makes the time go by faster and makes it fun.
We do have a question from AJ. What is your opinion on, and I'm probably going to butcher this word, Montermillite clay?
Okay, so koi. Don't even ask me to pronounce it. Okay. But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about koi clay. So everybody has a different opinion on it. I use it in my pond, but it really depends on, one, the type of filtration that you have and the kind of quality of fish that you have. It's like vitamins. It's like if you take a multivitamin every day, then you would be the one to know whether it's working or not. Same idea. The koi clay is adding trace minerals into the pond, and really the idea comes from the Japanese koi are all in these mud ponds, and the mud ponds pretty much have that clay in them, which is where people kind of devised the idea of that's why the fish in Japan look so much better than sometimes when they come here, because they're missing those kind of trace minerals. Helps with the red or the beni. It can help with the shiroji or white. The sumi is really an alkalinity based thing, but those trace minerals do help in augmenting the kind of sheen or the depth of color. So if you're doing it every week and you're noticing the issue, you're noticing it get better, then you know it's working. It really depends on the absorption of the fish too. Everybody's different, so are fish. I do notice a bit of a difference, and it can be attributed to the clay. It could also be attributed to the food that I'm using. So keeping pristine water, using high quality food, stay away from the low quality stuff. It's not worth it. I know it's, we're trying to ball on a budget, but if you can afford it, go with the higher quality food all the time.
Will koi clay help buffer GH?
From what I know, koi clay, I don't believe does anything with any sort of alkalinity or general hardness. That would just be something I would have to go and research myself. But from my knowledge and using it over the years, I've never actually noticed it adjust any of that stuff. But you do want to be careful with hardness. You don't want the water too hard because it does cause issues. What is too hard, I believe it's anything over 400 or something like that. I could be wrong. I think I may be thinking of a different scale, but you don't want it too hard.
That's it for right now.
Okay.
Excellent.
So one thing that I didn't mention is that there is a welcoming portion of the virtual auction or pre-show. It starts at 6, so you guys can show up anytime between 6 up to 7 p.m. That's before the show actually starts. You can show up at any time, but if you want to stay for the entire thing, 7 o'clock is when the live stream auction will start. Throw me questions, guys. Hurry up before Sean comes back.
Nothing flowing in.
Nothing flowing in. If you guys are looking for box quantity of fish, I know we posted about it yesterday, but if you like Showa, you're a fan of Issa Koi Farm, we do have boxes of Issa Showa available. Regardless if you're a dealer or you're just a Showa fanatic like I am, if you're looking for Showa and you want high quality stuff, feel free to send us a message. We do have box quantities of 24 and 48 of different size Showa. I believe I think they were 7 to 10 inch Showa. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Something that you should look into, whether you guys want to split it up between friends of yours, have a number of Showa in your pond to grow out and see how they come out. It's a really good price. Give us a DM, shoot us a message, whether it's to me or to Sean, and we'll help you out in getting that out to you guys. Something to look into. It's something to, if you're serious about the hobby and you like Showa, it's something to invest in.
We just got a question in right now. We'll put it up on screen. This is from AJ as well. Will pH fluctuation cause flashing? Picked up my Issa Showa Tosai last week. Looking forward to the progress.
Okay, so flashing is a very hard symptom to narrow down to it because it's just a sign of stress. Can a pH fluctuation do it? Yeah. I mean, any sign of stress that the fish is showing, flashing can be one of them, flashing or breaching of the water as well. If they're consistently flashing, where you see it multiple times throughout, within like a 20-minute time span, then it could be a symptom of flukes.
Can you define flashing?
Sure. So flashing is if the fish is swimming in the water and it scrapes up against the side or like turns over or scratches itself on something. That's what flashing is. Breaching is literally jumping out of the water. That's when you know if it's a fluke issue, that's really serious when they're consistently breaching the water because it's now really irritating their gills. They're flashing usually towards the head because they're trying to scratch or, they can't scratch their gills because of the gill plate, but they're trying to put some sort of pressure to alleviate some of the irritation or pain that they may be dealing with. But if they're doing it, you saw it once and they never did it again,